Hello, tribe, and how are you doing today on this glorious 111? Hopefully, you guys enjoyed some synchronicities today. 1111, 111 on 111. There's some strong energies going on right now, and for the collective, and your thoughts will become your act, or your thoughts will become reality. Um, if I could speak straight, which I hardly ever can, it seems like these days. But anyway, I would just like to thank everyone that's liked, commented, subscribed. Subscribe to my Instagram, King's Trident Tribe. For those impatient people, I will put the timestamp in the summary because, as we all know, I like to ramble on in the beginning. So today I'm gonna talk about something that probably a lot of people will, I don't know, their heads might explode, but I got this from my intuition, and this has to do with some of my experiences. But I'm going to talk about phases of the twin flame relationship and how rules for the flow of your connection. I know there's a lot of different articles and people's thoughts online about how you have to go through 7 or 8 phases. I'm gonna go against that and with my intuition and talk about why that doesn't apply to your connection or my connection or the collective's connections. But I wanted to let you guys know that we are here to help humanity. We are spiritual beings having a human experiences, and we make mistakes. And as long as the mistake was done without ill intentions and done in love, then that's all that matters. We can just admit when we're wrong, ask for forgiveness, work on improving ourselves, and just keep your heads up, and just keep being the light, because you inspire others whether you believe it or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you my playbook, because transparency is very important to me. I'm going to try to get the message out in time without having to do 2 parts like I did the other day. I'm going to go ahead and move on and talk about why there's no phases or no rules for the flow of your connection. As I said before, there's lots of articles and videos describing the rules and phases of how a twin flame connection happens or has to play out. But there are no rules or phases, only trends. And when I say trends, there's trends of how a lot of other people's connections have played out. And none of those trends are certain for your connection. And I'm going to give you some examples why. And I want to repeat this. How things play out are not certain, which means phases don't matter. There's no guarantee that you'll meet your twin. There's no guarantee that you'll fall in love and then separate and work on yourself. That you'll come back together after you separate, if you do meet your twin and you separate. And there's no guarantee that union will happen. But what is certain is you. You is the only thing in your span of control. And if you see me looking down, just bear with me. I'm trying to read my chicken scratch. So, basically, you need to be you making a deliberate effort to become the best version of yourself is what's in your span of control and what is guaranteed. Some examples of the other things that are guaranteed is, getting up today and just saying, hey, today is going to be an awesome day. That's in your span of control. And that helps you, start your day off on the right foot and manifest the kind of day you're going to have from that point on. Because as I mentioned in my other videos, you usually the first words out of your mouth in the morning, your first sentence, is how your day is going to be. And praying and meditating and giving thanks. When you pray, you give thanks. I always give thanks in the beginning because I'm so happy to just be able to wake up in the morning. Get yourself ready. Think positive. Make a conscious effort to work on one weakness a day. And that was a part of, my daily message this morning was just pick one thing out and work on it. And if you work on it continuously, deliberately, every day, it's only a matter of time before that becomes a strength. Go to the gym, work on yourself, eat clean, become the best version of yourself because you're important and you are what's in your span of control. And if you work on you, then you help the divine to place you down the road where you need to be, whether it's with your twin or whether it's not with your twin. And the reason why you need to also work on you is because free will is basically not in the divine's control. Free will is in your control, which means you might be on a twin flame journey, but it doesn't mean you have to continue down that path because you're a human and you have free will in your play. So, but that's why, if you work on yourself, you're going to help the divine out if your choice is to come into union, which is not a guarantee, but the only thing you can do is work on yourself. Basically, you're helping the divine progress your story, and your story is different from everyone else's, just as your connection is. You are different, your connection is different. So here we go. Possible outcomes that could differ from phases and rules that are online or in books. And I'm not saying, I want to make sure this is a very apparent. I'm not saying that the people that wrote those have ill intentions or they're completely wrong, because there is trends and a lot of people experience those phases, but that's not to say that your connection is going to experience all 8 phases or any of the typical things that other people experience. So here's an example. Did you never meet your twin? You work on yourself and become your best version. Then you run into them at the oddest place and time when you're just happy with yourself and not looking to date anyone. And then there's an instant connection. And then from that point on, it's happily ever after. You bypassed, half the phases that are, online, because it can happen that way. If that's your story and that's how your story is supposed to play out, then that's what's going to happen. Another example is you meet your twin, maybe after you gave up on love and you don't believe in love, because a lot of times that's what happens. There's an instant connection, just as there always is when you meet your twin. Issues start to surface. The oil starts coming to the top of the water. Unlike most that separate, you choose to work on yourselves while you're still together, so you don't separate. Maybe that solidifies your connection even more than other people's connections. Who knows? And then you decide to marry, come into union, and then basically everything else is history. That doesn't go into the normal 7 or 8 phases that I've read before. And I just want people to be aware of that, you are important and you're the only thing in your span of control. Your union is in divine timing span of control. But you can work on yourself and you can help divine timing with bringing you in a union if that's what you choose. Basically, as much as others are trying to help, there are a lot of false concepts. And I just want to say that just be aware. Just be aware. Listen to your intuition. As I mentioned in my last video, the answer, 99% of the time lies in here, inside of you. You just have to listen, pray, and meditate. That's very important. Meditating helps balance you out. Prayer also helps balance you out, but prayer also helps you with gaining answers, as meditating can too. And work on yourself. Have no expectations at all. And just like when we love unconditionally, we basically have no expectations. And then trust in the divine. And if you trust in the divine, you're working on yourself, everything else will play out. Your story will be amazing. If you do everything in your span of control, I guarantee you that your story will play out in the most remarkable way, and it's going to be very unique, not unlike anybody else's. And your story will inspire others. And that's kind of why I'm doing these videos, is not only to share my experience and what I gain from my intuition, but is to inspire others. And everybody has this in them, and they can do the same thing that I'm doing. So I just want to reiterate, people and others don't determine the outcome of your life unless you give them that control, that power. You are the only one that's in control of your life, and you're the only one in control of your story. And how it plays out is all determined from God or whoever you pray to in divine timing. And you can determine it too, because there's free will. But if you work on yourself and that's something that you really want, it will play out in your favor. Because you are the CEO of your life and your connection. Everybody's a CEO of some sort. You don't have to be a CEO of a business because you're the CEO of your own life. And there's no excuses. No excuses. Just instead of having excuses, just say, how can I solve that? How can I fix that? Because that's in your span of control. Just work and worry about you. So I'm keeping this one short, but I know a lot of people's heads might blow up, or I don't know. They might, I don't know how people will be receptive to this. But I did get this from my intuition, and your story, everybody's story is different, and I just think that nobody can tell you how it's going to play out except for God or the divine or whoever you pray to. Anyway, you know what, guys? Today was a great day. Not only was it Friday, 1/11, but this year is, it's going so much better than 2018, and it's going to be awesome. It's already awesome, and there's probably going to be a lot of people manifesting their unions, and the collective is going to be doing what's in the highest good, which is helping out humanity, because their energy is going to affect others. Like, it's going to be amazing. And But I'm just gonna go ahead and close up. But I appreciate everybody that's subscribed, liked, commented, emailed. Um, you know, I say this all the time because I am very appreciative of it. I only expected to get maybe 20 followers, and now I have 36. And each person is so important because every time somebody subscribes or likes, it gets other people to to see my videos, and hopefully it helps them out too. But anyway, hope you guys have an awesome weekend. This weekend is gonna be great. Anyway, talk to you guys later.